No, let's finish the theme song. Do it. Okay, that works. All right, well, we're back. So
Check that off the list.
Best theme song
Right.
ever.
So, gentlemen, give us your names here for the people at home that are still sober. Matt and
Still sober. I'm Jordan.
Still so. Jesus, it's 2. I guess it is brunch day.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mimosas and
This guy speaks my language. It's like you know me.
Today we went out and we had a little bit of brunch beforehand, and she was like, she looked down at her ticket and was like, spent more on alcohol than I did on food today.
That's just a good brunch.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing
Well,
wrong with
her
it.
third mimosa had tequila
I was like,
instead of champagne.
A
does it taste like
yeah.
Little tequila sunrise. For
Yeah.
her.
That's a,
Yeah, she looked over Carol. She's like, Carol, does your mimosa have tequila in it? She's like, no. She's like,
passed it around. I was like, I swear it tastes like tequila.
once you amp up the party, you know, like
Yeah.
you're already right there.
Oh, I'm
Champagne,
amped.
That escalated very quickly.
And then superhero. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then she started knocking. Then she started stealing stuff and knocking over water.
Well, that is.
I didn't mean
Yeah.
to knock
And that-
over the
and
water.
anger.
I was
no, in
trying
anger.
to steal the bowl.
I'll be honest. I have
purse
not
is
seen
big.
you that angry in a long time. She was
Well,
pacing
yeah.
up and okay, that was just now.
Isn't that what tequila does, though? It like
Yeah.
turns you into Frank the Tank from.
Tequila is actually pretty good for me. I can drink tequila and like dance on the bar tops and be okay. and
Really?
have
You're
good
a happy
time.
tequila.
Oh, not
I am.
me.
But Jaeger, no way. But tequila,
Isn't it weird how different things for different people, like
Yeah.
alcohol-wise? You know, like I've had friends that whiskey is the thing. As soon as they start drinking whiskey,
Yeah.
it's over.
See, whiskey I can do fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I'm.
What
good
we were
with
talking about
whiskey.
last night, for me,
Goddamn
it
whiskey.
goes, if I have one
God
shot of
bless whiskey.
tequila, that leads to 2 shots of tequila, and 2 shots of tequila leads to 14 shots of tequila, and there's no in between.
Yep.
So I got to either stop at 1
You're
or
taking them out of
14.
navels at that point.
Yeah, out of my own navel.
Which is,
It's a navel
That's a
search
sight
and
to see.
retrieve. Yeah.
well, like when we were roommates, like he'd get home maybe like an hour before I would, and he'd already be kind of drunk. And then
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
get home and he'd be like, "Here, catch up with me," and like pour all these shots, and I'd be like, "It's 3 o'clock. Why not?"
Yeah. By 5 o'clock when our other roommate got home, he'd be like, so disappointed in both of them.
The dishes aren't done.
like,
the
what
house
happened?
looks like shit.
Yeah. So then it was just there finishing out the rest of the night. So, all right. Well, Matt, Jordan. So tell us a little bit about Dallas Brew Scene. Not too much though, because we know a lot about it. So we'll just. Well, you know what? I bet the people at home probably don't know
No,
as
no,
much
probably
about
not.
it.
we can nutshell
guy.
it.
Keep it short
Yeah,
and sweet
yeah.
for a long time. Yeah.
So why
I
don't
don't
you
know
tell us
anything about it. You can
What?
talk to me. Ignore
Okay,
those
yeah,
guys.
yeah,
I know
Yeah,
nothing.
yeah,
yeah.
He's
We
like,
know
we're
our friends
good.
about
Jay,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
We'll lower our
I don't
chairs
know.
and come talk.
Well, I guess I should say. Well, I guess I should say we got introduced to him because Jay and I, do the Bottoms Up Dallas Beer Show as well, and we had a couple of people be like, "These are 2 guys you need to get in touch with," because by
Actually,
comparison,
that's not how it worked at all.
I know.
Yeah. Who
I'm
said
summing
that?
this up.
Stop
Jay
lying.
bringing back the realism
I
to the
met
fucking
Jordan.
I know.
world.
Yeah, that's right.
I was gonna give the whole
At
cool
DELoL.
story.
Yeah.
We weren't on the air that
Yeah.
night.
It made for such a.
Yeah.
So, no,
It was a
not at all.
grand
no.
tale.
So then I
Jay was having none
and
of
I
it,
was
though.
like, "Mr. President, listen, I know these guys.
We need
I
to bring
remember-
them in.
I remember exactly how it happened." So why don't you tell the story the way it correctly happened?
I went to DELoL Brewery, a wonderful place, just to do some quick interviews and take some photos for our beer show that we do on Friday, first Friday of the first full week of each month. So next Friday, yeah.
Except that it's all con, so we're gonna move it back 1 week.
Yes.
So
So not really next Friday, but anyways.
Generally, yeah, we do. Yeah.
And
Once a month.
I was taking pictures and interviewing the owner of DELoL Brewery, and that's where I met Kara, and we just started talking, and I told her a little bit about the beer show and what I was there doing, and she's like, "Oh my God, you have to come and meet Jordan." I was like, "Okay, clearly I must meet Jordan because you just said so," and she took me over, I met you, and
Yeah, I ran, but they caught me.
yeah, so she was like, "No, you have to meet him." So I chased him down and tackled him, and I was like, "I know who."
Both
you are."
new to the time. They had had a lot to drink
Yeah,
at this
I-
point.
It was Nude Thursday. I think it was Tate's birthday,
Yeah.
so yeah, it was
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
Nude Thursday.
Yeah.
Was it
DELoL.
Tate's birthday? I'm sure that was just a weird.
That's a good ending.
It got out of hand. But,
Happy ending.
I was jealous
Well,
of his beard, and so had to run and tackle him and caress it.
It's all right.
Which is a running
I don't
theme of
blame
the
you.
Bottoms Up show. The beard,
Right,
the
yes,
beard
it
envy
is.
that generally
Beard
generally
down, bottoms up.
ensues. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how much beard hair interlocks with other hair like Velcro
Yeah.
when you're naked. It's
Yeah.
quick.
I'll wake
Velcro's
up
a
and
hair,
it's
right?
tied to
Yeah.
the arm.
He's like his Velcro's
I said like hair. It's an analogy.
So, anyways, that's where I met Jordan, and we got Kara on the show, and then you started coming on the show and are a regular host with us now.
Been
So
hanging out ever since.
Very nice.
Amen.
Well, that's kind of how we work. Is we get in
Like
you know.
parasites.
Yeah, and then once you're,
Sneak
oh
up
shit,
on
we
you
want
and
these guys
leave you
gone.
alone.
It's like, oh no, yeah, we're next thing you know, we're on, you guys are interviewing us on this show.
You're like,
we'll
really?
be at your house.
We're not on your show
tonight
anymore?
for dinner.
Maybe you want to explain these pictures.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't realize that, but now we're in. Yeah, we're embedded. So.
Taff and I are going to be slowly phased out for y'all now.
Right, even on this show.
I'll still be coming. I'll be sticking my face in.
I wish I could pull that quote out of context and run it.
I'll still be coming.
Should be like
You know what, Jedi? Can we make a promo out of that?
done.
It's over and over again.
I'll
So
still
what?
be
Do
coming.
so what do you guys?
I'll still be coming.
The LOL
I'm gonna
show.
stop. I'm done.
So guys, what do y'all focus on? What is Dallas Brew Scene about?
Just craft beer in DFW, like North Texas. We really started because we met through my wife and started homebrewing together. Weren't very good at it, and so realized that we like and so decided we were better at promoting those that do, and wanted kind of our craft beer scene here to look more like the Portland or the.
You're like the Roger Ebert of beer. You're like, there's no way I'm making Schindler's List.
Yeah,
I can't
kinda,
eat my bag of beans and pizza and make Schindler's List, but I can sure review it afterwards.
Well, and you have all these breweries open up, and Dallas it's crazy to us kind of when we started that there's so many people here, and we're so far behind some of the other cities.
Yeah.
Even like
But it's
Austin
picking up
and Houston.
quick.
Very much so,
Especially
yeah. I mean,
this
you've
year,
got-
last year alone.
Yeah, you've got 10 if you count Cedar Creek and Revolver, which
But we
kinda
don't.
count.
We do count Revolver, but not Cedar Creek.
Not Cedar Creek. One of the two.
Until we need them
You
on the
only
show.
get one.
They're like, you
They'll
guys
want to
are-
come on
you guys are
someday,
great, yeah.
and then they'll call back to like this soundbite and be like, "Yeah, fuck you guys."
You don't count us, we don't count you.
Yeah. Luckily, we know them, so it should be okay. But yeah, that was the whole thing. So we selfishly wanted better beer here. We wanted the breweries that do open to, stay afloat. So we just want more people in the area drinking better beer.
Yeah, I think Matt
Yeah.
said it. We're selfish and impatient mostly, and we've seen it done better other places,
Yeah.
and we demanded it here.
So what's one of the best cities in America for craft beer? Good beer.
The big three
Portland.
are probably Portland's
Comes
the
to
one
mind.
that always Asheville. People don't realize,
What's
but Asheville,
Asheville?
North Carolina has
Oh.
Beer City, USA. they're
13 or
called.
15 breweries or something
wow.
ridiculous
Wow.
like that. So yeah, throw a rock
We
in
need a road
Asheville,
trip.
you're gonna.
But
hit it.
everything
Yeah.
in Portland is craft. If
Yeah.
you ever watch Portlandia,
Put a bird on it.
put a bird on it. It's like, we can pickle that.
Yeah, I'm surprised there's not a put a burn on it beer there at this point.
You know
but-
what? That's
There
true.
probably
You would
is.
think that.
Yeah.
You know what?
You
I just
don't-
gave-
at some point.
It's being home.
You just
right
don't-
now.
you just don't know
yeah,
it.
I just gave somebody an
Or
idea,
if
and I
not-
want residuals from that
Or
beer.
if not, let's just release a beer here called the Portlandia Put a Bird on It
Right.
from Lakewood Brewery.
They'll love
Just
it,
take it
yeah.
from them.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't made a Portlandia beer.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
'Cause That's
What
such a
is
great
it?
show.
When I go down to South by Southwest in 2 weeks, they're actually releasing a new Game of Thrones inspired beer.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
I heard
from
about
Omegon.
And,
that.
Iron.
Yeah.
the night
Yeah.
that I go down there,
Iron Throne.
it's the final
Iron
night. They
Throne,
have like
yeah.
a huge gallery where it's gonna be like an art show displaying all the Game of Thrones art, but they're also going to be giving away like a bunch of like they debuting the new like Game of Thrones beer. Are you guys gonna be down there?
That's
at all?
awesome.
We'll be down there for it,
Really?
but yeah, we
It's
read
March
about
12th, so maybe I'll
Yeah.
try to bring you guys
Steal
back a
some for
few.
us.
But
Yeah,
I'm going
please
down
do.
there just for a couple days, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna like.
Steal some of the art as well.
it. Yeah.
I'm hoping to buy a couple of prints. I feel like that just hit me in my face. But no,
Spit 'em
I'm
out.
excited that I'm gonna that I'm gonna get a couple of the Game of Thrones beers. It's just about to be released, so I don't know if you guys have heard about that.
Yeah, we heard about the beer. They
Yeah,
make
the art's awesome on the
Omegon
bottles,
is
too,
in
yeah.
Cooperstown, New York, and they actually make some awesome Belgian style beers. They're actually owned by the same brewery that owns DELoL. So if you've
I
ever
love
had
DELoL,
DELoL,
yeah.
DELoL Mort. I'm gonna
For the people,
That's
for the
Shout
people,
out to
for the people that
Well,
don't
it's
know,
8%. You can drink it like
Yeah.
it's water, So
what
yeah.
are some of the beers around? Like, sometimes a lot of people who don't know about craft beers walk in and they'll just see Revolver. They don't think about where that comes from, or St. Arnold's or something like that. So, what are some Dallas breweries? So that when you see that name, obviously DELoL Brewing Company, that should be pretty obvious. But what are some brewing companies around here so that when people see that name, they know, wow, that's local. That comes from just down the street. There's obviously DELoL Brewing, Lakewood Brewing.
Lakewood over in
Community
Garland.
just opened up, which is
Right.
fantastic.
Four
I
Corners.
really like that.
Four
Corners.
Corners. Working there yesterday.
RAR.
Raw.
I always,
kind of the
I
one.
always forget about that. They're right over in Fort Worth.
Been around since 08.
Yeah.
Franconia
some
since
good
04, so
Don't
they're
forget
kind
Petty
of.
Colas bringing
Petty
a gold medal.
Colas.
Petty
Oh,
Colas
yeah.
over in
That Velvet Hammer is
Incredible.
absolutely hands down one of the
Yeah.
best beers I've ever had. We have a
Yeah.
friend that married the beer.
That's right.
right.
You know, Allie? Yeah,
Allie,
she had the
yeah.
whole wedding at the brewery and has a ring and
Yeah.
changed her
Two
last
kegs
name.
dressed up
Yeah,
in
there was a
tux,
keg
the whole
Yeah.
and
bit,
tux. And,
It was-
yeah, it was
It's,
bridesmaids
crazy.
and everything.
Right,
Yeah.
It was a whole
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, Reverend.
Yeah. So,
Who actually baptized my son in
He had
craft
a
beer.
cookbook, I think
Like,
he was reading out of.
yeah,
Instead of a
like
Bible,
the taste
it
of
was-
something.
now, see, these are
yeah.
guys, like beer when they're getting their kids
No,
baptized.
these are guys I need to
in
go
beer.
party with.
Yeah, it was like
Oh,
8
yeah,
o'clock,
sure.
8 o'clock
Great.
at Untapped Fest last year.
wake up
In
and
Dallas,
crack
yeah,
one
the music and beer festival that they're doing in April. They're doing the
Yeah,
Fort
the Big
Worth
Texas
one this
Beer
time.
Fest.
Yeah,
Nice.
Big Texas is in Dallas, and then Untapped is doing their Fort Worth version in April too.
Okay.
And then we've got our bus trying to fit it in April.
Right, and I want to
13th.
talk about that in
Yeah,
a little bit.
what's
The
up,
Brew
Bus?
Bus. Hold on, we'll come back to that because I want to have a whole little. I want to talk about that for sure. But what's some of your favorite places to go for beer? Not the breweries, but if you want to, go and have a selection of craft beers. What's a couple of the best places? To go? World Beer. Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah, World Beer Company's great.
Model Shop, World Beer
Shop.
Company, 2116
Solid.
Lower Greenville.
Yeah.
I have to give them a shout out.
I actually taught a class there last week or a couple weeks ago, the Beer 101 class.
Yeah,
so,
you were telling me about that.
I'm kind of.
What'd you teach? What'd you?
It was
what'd you
beer,
break
just
down?
called Beer 101. So I just talked about beer. I'm a corporate trainer for my day job, and
Nice.
so to be able to talk about beer
Translates
for an
pretty
hour,
well.
Whore.
yeah, it's like okay, I usually have to talk about auto loans, and then I can talk about beer for an hour to people.
That's awesome.
The cool thing is where our scene is in the area, people are hungry for the information.
Yes.
So I've also taught some classes at Whole Foods and some stuff like that. And I think kind of when either one of us are out somewhere trying to buy beer, we kind of directly look
Spy
like.
on people and
Or
make sure
people-
they're buying the right stuff.
Or they'll even ask us, like, well, what should I buy? And I
I've caught
can't
myself
tell you.
doing that when I see somebody reaching for something, and it's like, dude, for $1 more, right there.
Yeah.
There's like
So much
Temptress or Raw. I'm like, you
Down
should really,
Schlitz.
yeah.
Oof.
But I noticed what I liked last night is Jay had a housewarming party over at his new place, and it was kind of nice to see that. Of course, there
I'm
was.
sorry
the-
for not inviting y'all.
No,
I feel
Yeah,
like
geez.
we wouldn't have brought beer anyway.
I was
They
just
would've
saying
drank
that
all
to
the
rub it
beer.
in. Yeah.
Thanks, Dell. You
But,
make me look like as
should've
big of
invited
an
them.
ass.
Literally hours ago, we had a celebration.
Yeah, I told you to invite them, and she was like, "No, we're having them Sunday. I can't deal with that." much of it."
Yes, that is exactly what
2
I
days
was.
in a row.
But there was the ubiquitous, Bud Light, because it's a party. You got a free beer to
always.
give away.
And
So
it's
that's
Dallas.
good. But it was nice to see that a bunch of people were actually bringing craft beers. Where I think 2
Yeah.
years ago, it would have all been Budweiser, Bud
You wouldn't
Light,
have seen a
Coors
craft
Light.
beer.
No
Yeah.
way.
Nope.
But last night we saw for the first time DELoL Brewing has cans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which I was
The
totally
IPA
excited
and the
about.
blonde are in cans
Yeah.
now.
Oh, the
which,
blonde is
Jennifer bought the blonde,
fantastic.
and those things got annihilated.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, I was pouring at the Deep Elm Tour yesterday, and we almost went through 2 full kegs of the blonde.
It's a
Yeah.
great
in
beer.
in
It's
3
really
hours.
good.
So yeah.
But yeah, so it was really nice to see that even at parties, people are starting to pick up because it's becoming priced the same as any beer you can get out of Milwaukee.
Yeah.
And obviously, it has better flavor, better taste. And
Well, especially
it's cheaper.
like Whole Foods are great because
Yes.
Yeah.
they put them $8.99 Temptress 4-packs or
try
$9.99
it.
Temptress 4, or
Yeah.
grab one out of the singles.
Now, I gotta
cooler.
say,
so
the Petticola's Velvet Hammer is a great beer. I do think the Temptress by Lakewood beats that out. I think,
especially
for
on
me-
Nitro, if you can find it at a bar on Nitro.
Yeah.
Oh,
my-
yes.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
I think that's my favorite local beer right now.
It's a tough
I can't
competition
get
between
beat.
the two.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
was
the
up
Velvet
for-
Hammer
They're
is
neck
so
and neck there,
creamy and
Well, everything Petty
delicious.
Colas makes is just solid and balanced. Like,
Yeah.
everything.
And for the
about
same
his
price,
beers-
why
yeah.
would you want to get? I don't understand the water. The canoe beer.
Right.
The other way they
Do
put
you guys
it.
offer like private classes? Because I'm so used to drinking the same thing that I drink, and that's it. I usually go for like a lambic. I do a little bit of like Belgian.
Lambics are
you know?
great.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
my wife's
Belgian's like
total
that's like my
gateway
favorite
beer.
thing.
Yeah,
Like
for
anything
sure.
like was it like the Lindemans or something like
Yeah.
that. But like I know nothing about beer. I'm like
Watch the
I'll
beer
just,
show,
you know,
Taft. That's
I grabbed,
that's
I
what the
grabbed
beer
this
show
'cause
is
it
for.
said
dude.
superhero.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that shit.
The next community beer is a Belgian strong.
Quality.
She'll sit in a room and listen to 2 fat guys talk, but she won't watch a show where this beautiful face is on it. What the hell is that about?
well,
This guy's on the camera anyway.
She's too busy watching Lifetime movies.
That's true.
It
Last
It is
night,
Sunday, so it is
Last night I
Lifetime
was
movie
crazy
day,
cat lady.
yeah.
I was by myself and enjoyed the silence to my home, and I sat there and watched 4 or 5 hours of Lifetime movies.
But
These
see, now,
guys-
now there's a whole
Well done,
network,
yeah.
so it's
Yeah,
really
exactly.
dangerous for
Yeah.
you. So
All right,
it's
I'm
like-
pulling this back. We're not going off into the Lifetime movies talk like we did.
I
it
got a
like-
whole bunch of material.
like we did it.
Sad thing is, I can keep up with that. That's the worst part. It's like
I believe it, especially if you're married.
it's pretty bad that I could go toe for toe with it.
Well, and ever since doing Bottoms Up Dallas, and especially since you guys and Cara came on, every time I go to the beer store now, I get something different.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Whereas
Music to
before
our
I
ears.
just used to stick like, 1 or 2 things over and over again that I like. I'll occasionally fall back to some of my favorites when I don't want to spend, a lot. But, every time I go out now, I'm like, you know what? I haven't had that.
Yeah.
And I'm learning what I do and I don't like. For instance, I don't like IPAs as much. First of all, I like all of it. You know, the only thing I don't like is like just basically light beers that like Coors Light and stuff like
Well,
that. But
you know, everyone has their own preferences.
Right,
Like, I'm not a
exactly.
Hefeweizen fan.
Right,
It's just
yeah, and I say I like
it's just
Hefeweizen.
taste
That's the
thing.
great
I
thing
do
about
too.
taste, and that's the great thing about craft beer is there's
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'm
beer
always
out there for everything.
Yeah, and I'm
You
up there
know?
with stouts and porters. Pretty much, if it's a stout or a cream stout or a milk stout, I'm gold.
Hence
full
the
flavor.
temptress.
yeah,
Right,
exactly.
yeah.
And then of course porters, I'm a huge fan of. But I am learning also that I may not be a huge fan of IPAs, but if I'm walking through a store and I'm like, you know what, I haven't had that before. I'd rather pull something off the shelf, a local craft brew that's an IPA, rather than just another left-hand milk stout. Which, by the way, left-hand is great. I'm not
Especially
them
the
at all.
nitro bottle. I
Oh,
keep saying nitro.
my
like that's
God.
Good thing it's not the secret word of the day. We
Yeah.
don't really
But yeah, that's got to be up. The nitro's got to be up my top 5 favorite beers. Period. That one just has that. It's like you're drinking a steak and the dessert too.
That's
Whereas
right. I
like
had
Guinness
one last
is just
night.
a
It's like,
steak.
that's my nightcap,
God.
oddly enough. A lemon
Yeah,
nitro.
I can have them. I can have them at night, no
Yeah.
problem before bed, and I
It's
feel
so
like I'm a baby.
smooth and chocolatey, and it's weird because it feels unnatural because you have to tip the bottle up
Uh-huh.
to pour it. So it's like you instead of pouring it all slow and nice and gingerly like you would a normal beer, you just
Froth
tip
it
the
up.
bitch over.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
let it
that's-
go, and
That
it
seems
but-
more
but-
along my lines.
and
'cause
does
I'm-
the nitro thing, and it's
Yeah.
really
Nice.
cool. It's almost like science in your glass. You know, I don't know.
Well, and that's some of the things we've been learning from the show and from you guys as well. Is when I was in college, we learned to pour beer down the side of a pint glass because that's the quickest way to get the beer out. But it
Right.
doesn't necessarily release the most flavor and the most aroma. So I've been learning, of course.
Depends on the
Fuck,
style. Yeah.
fuck,
Of course,
fuck the
you're-
pint glasses.
You're probably pouring like Bud Light. into a
Right,
pint
exactly.
glass
So you're not
also.
missing anything. But you'll
Really
see them do it at
unlock the
bars.
bouquet.
Well, you'll see them do it at bars too. They don't
Or
pour
the
right in the middle.
chilled shaker pint they call
Right,
it, which is
the
like
shaker pint, yeah,
right.
because they're serving so many people they can't afford to do that. But
and it's the stack thing. I
yeah,
think,
and that's the
too.
other thing, right? You can stack them up. But at home now, I can't drink. I've actually gotten a little bit snobby where it's like, all
not
I've
a
got are
little bit.
shaker pints.
He's become very snobby
I
about
can't.
it.
Well, you see,
if I don't have my tulip glass,
Well, we
or,
did
you
the
know, I
glassware
don't have-
show with you
right,
guys,
I
and
could.
so,
I'm
yeah.
like,
Yeah.
if I don't have my tulip glass or something
Dylan
that
is
compresses the
tulip.
top.
So we've known
I
Dell
don't
3
know.
months now, and we've already started pulling you to the dark side.
Oh, yeah.
We're
I
gonna
know.
drink beer out of a
But
bottle
here's
again.
the deal: it's different. If you pour, if I take a left hand or a temptress and I pour it down the side of a shaker glass and I drink that, it's almost like a little flat. There's not a lot of, the carbonation's
Get
there, but it's
agitated a little.
right. Yeah, you pour that right down the middle, let the head sit, and pour it again. Man, I mean it's like pops in your mouth. Then it's a real difference, like presentation wise.
Well, and that's even, you asked about the best places to drink beer earlier. Kind of our unofficial headquarters is the Common Table.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hear
For
a lot
of
about that.
reasons, the food and the beer.
And where are they
taps,
located at?
Yeah.
Kind of on the
Fairmount.
fringe of Uptown, yeah, like right on Fairmount there,
Yeah.
kind of.
Or like
Right
a
behind
couple
the
blocks
Stonely
from my new
P,
place.
if you know
Oh,
where
well,
that
nice.
is,
We're
yeah.
gonna be
we
going
should
over
see
there.
you a lot more often.
Yeah.
then,
Yeah.
for sure. The
No
big
excuse.
table out front is kind of, affectionately known as the Common Table.
Right.
Yeah.
Because you go up there any given night and you're going to meet
Beer nerds.
geeks like us
Yeah.
that'll sit here and talk your ear off about beer for an hour.
A lot of
And,
brewery people too go up there.
yeah.
Guys from
See,
Deep
that's-
Elm,
that's
Pale
kinda
Balls, just
bottle
hang
shop.
out when they get
Like
off
that.
work.
Yeah,
and,
that's kind of bottle shop too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you stop in there, there are going to be people there that care about beer. I mean,
Yeah.
there's very few people that walk in. I mean, if you walk, they don't have Bud Light or Miller Lite. So if you walk in, you're like, I'll have a Miller Lite. They're going to be like, well,
Leave.
there's a place across. I mean, they're
Yeah.
not rude about it, but
called
they're like,
7-Eleven.
there are plenty of places next
Well,
door. We just
yeah.
don't have
Common
that.
Table used to charge like $7 or $8 for a Michelob Ultra bottle, and he called it asshole tax. Or like
Nice.
Yeah.
or something.
Then they quit selling it.
Yeah, but then he quit selling it. They don't have any Bud Miller Coors at all.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
funny.
Jack Max over on Preston and George Bush kind of followed suit.
North Dallas. Yeah.
So the more breweries that open it up, the more bars that are opening up that
Yeah.
carry, all Texas
When you can
beers
sit
or
there and
all
talk
local
to the
beers,
bartenders, a lot of time you'll walk in. I mean, bartenders know drinks in general, but if you say, "What do you have on tap?" They can say, "Well, we got these beers." Well, what's the difference? Well, I don't really know.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
you go
beer.
to, you go to
Yeah.
Common Table or Bottle Shop. What do you like? I like porters. What kind of porter do you like?
Right.
I like.
What have you had before
Yeah,
that
what have
you
you
like?
had before? What I really like is when we're talking to Chris or Steph, they'll ask you, "What do you like to eat?" And you can tell them what kind of food you like, and they'll go, I know exactly what kind of beer you want. And they will
Nice.
find you a beer based on what your preference for food is. I've only been steered wrong like once, twice, because they'll say, try this. If it isn't what you like, they'll give you something else.
Well, and the best places will give you a taster.
Yeah,
You can't
of course.
abuse it, obviously, so if you're that guy that goes in there
12
and gets
tasters.
like...
Yeah.
Let me try that one over there.
But the other thing, most good places that have more of this good craft beer on tap offer flights, which you can go and get 4 or 5 little
Yeah,
3-4
I love
ounce
that.
glasses for a decent price usually. and try it, and that way you're not pouring a whole beer out. Or
Well, and I also like that they do growlers at a lot of these places.
I was just going to say, Craft and Growler just started doing
God,
flights for
so
the first
great
time. So
because
that's
instead
really
of
nice.
walking in and just getting a 6-pack or a mixed bottle case, if you're like, man, I really like this pecan porter, which is that 512 pecan porter is fantastic too.
Which they call their house wine, I think. At
Is
bottle
that-
shop, it's like $8 a growler all the
Yeah,
time.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
period.
Something
That's
crazy,
you can
yeah,
always
so-
get the
That-
pecan porter.
that's the
there.
one that they say they always keep on tap.
Yeah,
Always.
it's-
It was like
it
the
is their-
first
it is
beer
their-
ever.
Everybody likes it though. There's nobody I've
It's
ever
an awesome beer. I mean, it
Yeah,
really
it's
is,
just
yeah.
it's a good. I won't say middle of the road, but like as craft beers go, that's one that you can be safe with. Almost any person
Yeah.
will like that.
Yeah.
And but yeah, I love the fact that you can take home a gallon of beer. If you're going to drink that in a day or two, like we are going to, it's not going to sit around forever. I don't
Yeah.
need all the bottles.
Well, at Craft and Growler, they actually have guns that push out all of the oxygen and replace it with nitrogen.
Oh
Fancy.
wow, that's
And
even
And then-
better. Yeah.
So
It
if
lasts,
you don't crack
yeah.
it, that thing will last a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Easy.
Nice.
If you just let it sit in your fridge.
Without
And they have a crazy selection of growlers, like
Witchcraft.
some art pieces that are growlers. You got witchcraft, yeah.
Yeah.
Beer
What is this
witchcraft.
sorcery?
Yeah,
But-
what is this sorcery?
But beers like
Yeah.
Velvet Hammer, that's the only way you can have them outside of the brewery or outside of a bar
Yeah.
because Petty Colas, the only
Well, our
ones that package now are Lakewood.
Well, our
and
friend
Dallas.
Allie, who got married to it. Have you ever been over to her house?
I think she just
Yeah.
has it on tap
She
now.
has a freezer that she's converted into a keg.
She's earned that right.
Kegerator.
And
Yeah.
she has. Let's face it, Allie has earned the right
She
to have
married
them
it and
since-
took its name, like, at least on Facebook.
She has in
That's
her
as
room.
official
It's
as
a
it
giant
gets.
That's
freezer.
basically official.
It is.
that-
Yeah.
She punched a hole through the door and installed a tap on the front of the freezer door, so you can just walk up and pour Velvet Hammer 24 hours a day in her house. In fact, if you try to bring beer over, she'll be like, "This is cute," and set it
Yeah.
aside, and then she'll just serve you her Velvet Hammer.
Pours you one of those. You're like,
So great.
okay, cool.
I believe she even gets like free kegs and stuff.
Oh,
of it, 'cause
yeah, I think Petty
she
Colas.
does
Yeah.
tons
He
of work for
delivers
them
them to
stuff.
Bottle Shop.
Yeah, that's
He
right.
delivers them to Steph, and then Steph passes them off to her.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to Allie's after the
Oh
show.
man,
right?
yeah, that's another girl that knows her stuff too, man.
Well, and the good thing about local beer too is it's not only are you supporting local business, which the back of our kind of our uniform shirts say "Drink Local," and that's
Yeah.
kind of our motto that we've gone with, and so not only do we want to support local businesses, but beer just tastes better when it's fresh.
No
you
kidding.
know?
Now-
A Deep Elm IPA that was canned 2 days before that you
No.
go buy at Whole Foods. Did you just disagree with that? It tastes better fresh.
Yeah.
No, I was going to say.
Explain yourself there, Jay. Wait a
I
minute.
was going to say. If
You
we,
told me not to shake the table, but I'm about to jump over it and go at Jay like
Well,
a
if we
rabid.
want to taste fresh beer, like maybe from a local brewery, do you have a good way to get between local breweries?
Funny you should ask that, Jay.
Perhaps
As a matter of
some
fact.
Look at
Set
your
up.
professional
Set up.
segue. You
I
Best
wish,
segue of the
I
day.
wish someone would come up with something like that.
The segue was so good, we're talking about it, and it didn't work.
So y'all have this Segway tour y'all do.
Yeah, so we go like
be
Job on
dangerous.
Arrested Development, just jump on segways. And
Tie everybody together on leashes. And
So
drive
here's
them
an
with us.
idea I had. What if there was, because I'm thinking about what you said, a bus or something that you could
I see a light bulb.
take? Yeah, you see where I'm going with this?
See, I was getting the
DeLorean,
you
go
could
back in time
pay
and do this
people
last week.
Yes,
Amazing.
people buy tickets to get on a bus and take a tour around to different breweries.
That's
and
much
craft
better than what
places.
I thought.
What were you
I was thinking like rickshaws and have a bunch of Chinamen run you around town.
Well, you got to work off the
Offensive,
beer.
You can't say
This fucker just said Chinaman. Holy shit.
You're like my 60-year-old.
Chinaman is not the preferred
It was a
nomenclature.
quote from the Big
I feel like I'm in a
Lebowski.
Seinfeld
Okay?
episode.
You like that?
It rolled off.
Shot
so
your legs off
naturally.
and
So that's what
So
scares
what do
me.
you guys think about this? I mean, if you guys were going to do
Funny,
something like
funny
that, how
you
would
would
it
ask,
work?
Del and Jay. So our new endeavor is kind of a thing called Dallas Brew Bus.
Exactly
oddly enough, which
Good title, too.
will take you.
I'm
to-
learning how they do stuff. All they do is put Dallas Brew
And then anything
and
else.
then
whatever
whatever
we're gonna
else
do
they
after
do.
that.
Yeah, we
If they
didn't-
have sex dolls, it's going to be Dallas Brew dolls.
Hey.
Which would fly off the shelves. Let's be honest.
Beer out the nipples?
Look at
What
the
are we
two of
talking?
us. That's
What do you mean if?
Yeah.
Yeah, so our first one was last Saturday, not yesterday, Saturday before, the 23rd of February.
And so people buy tickets and explain it. So that you
So
have
the
a
first
bus
one was
that-
Lakewood. Yeah, it's a big old school bus, big yellow school bus. So that's kind of the cool. It goes along with the education piece, right?
And underage
They're all here to
drinking,
learn.
sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, IDs are required, and we check ID.
Yeah.
You even sign a waiver that pretty much covers everything up to Acts of God and Zombie
Asteroids.
Apocalypse
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
Russian
I think it's
asteroids,
written in
yeah.
there. So yeah.
Solid.
It's
Yeah.
ironclad. It was
Good.
from a lawyer
We're
that
safe.
we know. Yeah.
Safety first.
So past the legalese, get to the fun part.
Right.
Yeah.
So last week was our inaugural tour. We rented out a big yellow school bus, met in the parking lot of Community, which is right across from American Airlines Center.
I love Community.
And there's
by the way.
it's such an awesome brewery. And so that's where we end because they're open later and because we absolutely love Community. They've been awesome to us from the get-go. We actually found Kevin at his office before he even...
Yeah, I stalked him.
Kevin Carr?
Kevin Carr, the owner,
Found
Jordan went online and did some research and
I found his secretary, and he was flabbergasted. He's
I'll
like,
have
like,
you
what
know-
are you calling me for again?
I'll have you know
Dallas
that,
Brew Scene.
I'll
We
have you
found
know that one time he said to me, "Oh, that's Friday. Thanks, I did meet you before."
Good
I'll
story.
have you know he said that to me.
Oddly enough, one of the articles written about
story,
our
bro.
Did you
bus
touch him?
has a
His face was
picture that
ridiculous.
you're in from that inaugural
Oh,
tour.
really?
Yeah, from the open house.
We
of
were
the
lucky enough
Community.
to be invited for free to come out and check out their opening, and man, was that a blast! All good people.
Such a
too.
state-of-the-art brewery, awesome people. The beers are amazing
I want to
because
see this picture now.
Jamie. Yeah, I'll send it over to you. Jamie has a kind of
History.
prestige,
Yeah.
because he owned the Cubby in Fort Worth and has won some medals. So their brewmaster actually has some tried and true recipes that have won some international and some.
And what's cool is when they give the tour, he will talk about
he
some
can
of
talk
that.
in depth.
You know,
about-
I mean,
He's got the Britney Spears microphone.
He's got a
I've
little
seen that.
Britney
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah.
He dances while talking.
Well, it's
I
funny
wish. I
because
hope so,
he's
yeah.
got this little suitcase thing that's in the front of it, which is the battery pack.
Yeah.
And his assistant brewer Eric, which was with him at the Cubby, so he knows a thing or two.
and
as
Eric's a
well.
little bit of a sweetheart.
Funny guy. And so he goes, "Oh, I need a beer." Last week when we were there, and because it was the end of our bus tour, and he goes, "Oh wait," and looks over and pulls out this beer out of
Their
this
PA has a cooler in
thing.
it or
He's
something.
like,
I don't know.
"I'm
yeah.
good." I was like,
It's a brewery PA for sure.
Nice.
So
it was funny. Yeah.
you guys meet up at the at that parking lot.
Made
Right.
it back Community.
Part of the story is, I think, maybe a little backstory is around Texas, they can't keep the breweries open and sell beer out of the breweries, so they sell these tours for a short period of time on
Gotcha.
the weekends,
Yeah.
so you can kind of come in and check it out, and as part of the tour, you get free samples.
Right.
So the beer is
So,
complimentary.
Part of the
Right.
problem is that you get these
Yeah.
limited time windows to check out all the breweries, and when they're open all at the same time or something like that, it's hard to check out multiple ones, so we're...
Or when you're drinking
Put
beer
them
all
all
day and
together.
driving across
Right,
Dallas.
you don't
Yeah,
want to,
then the
because
drive-
that's the
yeah.
one thing we don't do. We want people to drink craft beer. We want people to drink locally, but we don't want them to drink and drive locally.
That's
Yeah.
right.
So if you want to do it in another
Bad
state,
decision.
like Oklahoma, I don't care what you do there,
Yeah.
because you could damage everything.
Have fun on the highways.
Yeah, have fun on
Yeah.
speed.
Speed
But here
traps.
in Texas, a real state, I don't want that happening. You know. So, man, so that sounds like a lot of fun. I guess next time y'all do one of these, we're gonna have to.
We need to have the
And
bottoms up
there's
out.
snacks, you know?
Yeah.
When,
guys
I know you like
I'm going
snacks,
for the
Dal.
snacks.
So next one's March 23rd. The first
I'm
tour
getting more like Matt every day.
Right. Yeah, we'll get there quick. The first tour sold out in 4 days. The second one has one ticket left. I think we can probably work in a couple more tickets on it.
Okay.
But we kind of have finite numbers just because
Oh, sure.
It's a
the
bus.
first time we're doing it.
We'll
What
do
we
a
would
pre-taped
eventually-
We'll do a pre-tape thing that we could run on the Bottoms Up Dallas.
That'd be awesome.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
The next one, so the first one was Lakewood, Four Corners, and Community. March tour is, and then food was provided by Luck. So they just signed their lease over in Trinity Groves. And the first time they provided us with lemongrass braised.
Lemongrass
Lemongrass.
braised, slow
Braised
roasted pork
banh
shoulder
mi.
banh mi sandwiches with
That
fresh
the entire
jalapenos.
bus, 34 people, were completely silent on the bus.
Drooling.
When we broke this out, yeah, they were
Groans,
like,
moaning.
I think I literally heard nom nom.
Food zombies.
Okay, so wait, so I could say this is safe to do for maybe even a romantic thing for a
Birthdays?
couple.
Date after
Actually, our
wedding.
next
For
on the March
birthdays, for
tour, we
gifts?
have a group, and it's the guy emailed us, and it's a baby shower. And
That is
that's how
all
they're going to
comers,
kick off
all
their baby
comers.
shower.
Yeah.
Everyone will be happy.
And
except
yeah, I
for
was
the
like, dude, I have a
pregnant lady.
14-month-old.
Yeah.
I wish we had done that for
Well,
a baby
and
shower.
you know, we've talked before. Carol and I were like joking around about the idea of marriages, but ever since Allie had hers in the place, we were like, where would be a really cool place to have a wedding
Somebody
and
got married
reception?
at DELoL a couple
A
of weeks
freaking
ago.
brewery, like that's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
awesome idea.
The beer is right there. There's huge open spaces.
Yeah.
It's all
Live
it's
music a
everything.
lot of times.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can have bands
Food.
play.
The reception I'm going to today is actually for Scott and Kaya, who actually got married at the Double Wide, and so
Oh,
they got
Kaya.
married. Yeah,
Oh, I
so they
forgot
got married
about that.
in
Yeah.
the Double Wide, and they had the beer was right there, and that was
Double
that's
wide,
it.
much better than the single wide.
Yeah.
Fucking single wide.
That place sucks.
Probably, yeah.
So when you
Love
guys
the
do
Double
these
Wide,
tours, is it like all inclusive? So they pay you guys, and then when they go in there and they do the tours, they get how many beers they get per place?
Yeah,
Something
so
like that?
we make up our own little 6-ounce snifter glasses that have Dallas Brew Bus and then our Dallas Brew Scene logo on the other
Oh, I want
side.
some of those for the
Um,
Bottoms Up
yeah,
Dallas
they're
show.
adorable.
And then,
Yeah.
we'll
Tell
bring
us how to
some
get
up.
those.
You
Yeah,
just want
we'll
free
order some.
stuff.
You have to buy a ticket to the bus, though.
No, I mean, I want to make some of those for Bottoms Up Dallas.
Oh,
So
yeah,
I
we
want to
can
see
do
how
that.
y'all
Yeah.
go through it.
We
Okay.
did
Yeah.
BMW Periscope is their name.
That'd
They're
be good to
awesome.
do
They
the
were like,
samples out of.
They do all
they do the
glasses
glasses for
around
the
town.
Moth, for DELoL, so we called them.
Moth, yeah.
We're all nervous because it's our first time, and we're like, can we have them in time? They're like, you're getting the glasses that everybody orders for festivals. We have
They run it.
pallets of
They're
them
good.
in the back.
They're real good, yeah.
Like, get us the
Nice.
design.
They're like,
We've
just
got
chill
your
out.
glasses. Yeah. We're all like nervous Nancy's over here, like, oh, I don't know
Oh,
if they're
that's
gonna get here in
adorable.
time. you know?
Isn't it?
Your first
You
glass
love Nancy.
I know.
purchase.
We were all I was pacing before the thing, like giving it was nerve wracking.
That's
because we
awesome.
wanted it to
How long does
be.
something like that last? Like when you go on tours at like an hour? Or
So we
something?
started last time like 11:30, I guess. We ended at 5 at Community.
I'm
the
hoping
next
that's
one-
AM to
all day.
PM, not PM to AM.
It is, yeah.
I'm
11
kind of hoping
a.m.
PM to
Vegas
AM.
style.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
nice.
Yeah, with the food too, it kind of helps. So we limit. You get a tasting card. The whole point of it for us was to make it safe, so people could try a bunch of different beer, check out these different breweries, and see the kind of differences.
Yeah, because if they
And
still have to
drive
drive,
home.
if they still have to drive home from Community, all you did was load them with 3 times as much.
Yeah.
in a nice little circle, and then send them on
Yeah.
their way. Yeah. So we limit it, and we also wanted it to make it a little more special. So the commemorative glass, each tour is going to have.
Oh, so you
a
get to keep
different-
the glass.
keep the glass.
absolutely.
Oh, that's cool.
Each tour has a commemorative like tasting card, and that has
Kinda like
you know
one
our,
of these guys,
we're
yeah.
gonna eventually
That on the
hopefully
radio
get
can see.
sponsors and put them on the back. Yeah,
Cool.
this sort of thing. So then you go through, you get marked off. So
I
that
know
way
a
the
I know a
breweries
show
can-
that might want to sponsor with you guys.
Well,
Who has a birthday next?
tell
Is it
them
me?
to get in touch.
You probably.
I'll see. I'll have
Do
my.
you, do you know anybody?
I'll have
that
my
you can
people
get-
reach out to you. I'll have my seconds contact your seconds.
Right.
So,
So I guess
yeah,
yes.
whose birthday's coming up? We need to
I
do
think
this
it's
for
me.
our birthday. Do you want to
You-
do
you
this?
think
We
it's
need
you?
to get on this.
Me.
Okay,
You-
we're doing it
Oh,
then.
wow.
That's it.
When would that
Yeah.
be?
That's August, but we can celebrate it way earlier.
Maybe
Yeah.
should have
Yeah,
half
we want-
birthday or something. Or like,
So what do the tickets run?
$50?
Whoa,
They can
Oh.
see
That's-
access
that's
to the
nothing,
3
yeah.
breweries
Yeah.
with the glass, with the snack. Excuse me.
snack.
Got a frog in my throat.
Yeah, meals. It sounds
Meals,
like.
yeah.
They
It
bought
was
me,
very,
in
yeah.
March, and they've asked us in February, excuse me. They've asked us in March, so I'm gonna kind of leave it up to them. They knocked it out the park the first time.
Golly.
Why mess with it? They know the food, we know the beer.
Yeah.
So why not? The other good thing is, just to kind of selfishly plug, we've been kind of at it indirectly before we even started Dallas Brew Scene for 5 or 6 years. The two of us kind of in the what little scene we had at the time. So once we started this, we got really good relationships with the brewers and stuff. So eventually we want to integrate bars and brew pubs if those start opening up and things like that, and really just highlight the craft beer scene in Dallas with the bus as well as the site and everything
I
else
mean,
we
this
do.
is all just
So-
exciting, especially this last year or two, where
Yeah.
craftsmen become.
We got really lucky. We started Dallas Brew Scene right when everything started to blow up.
Exact right
You got
time,
really
yeah.
lucky. You guys got to meet us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
that day you tackled me, it was
No,
when it all
yeah.
changed.
No, we're really lucky to have
Weird.
you guys on the show too, because I wanted to produce a show about beer because I just started getting into liking good beer, and really it's because I started going to Bottle Shop, knowing Chris and Stephanie, that kind of got me into it. I was like, God, I would love to do a beer, a show, and then luckily we meet people that actually know more than we do,
Yeah.
because we know how to kind of put together a show, but I don't know so much about the beer.
It's like I told you first time that I met him. I was like, I'm an enthusiastic amateur.
Yeah,
I really-
exactly.
Absolutely.
I love beer, but I don't really know.
But-
That's
Yeah.
kind of the type of
Pretty
people
much
we love
The
to meet.
enthusiasm is
because-
probably one of the things that goes across the whole.
And I guess I should
scene
say
of
thanks
people.
to everybody that helps us with that show when we do the Bottoms of Dallas. It's, first of all, Dallas Brew Scene, Bottle Shop, but specifically Chris Hanks and Stephanie Rothsberger and Cara.
Cara,
And Cara's
the Texas
a big,
brunette.
Texas brunette, big help to that. So, well, guys, we're gonna have to take a quick break. We're gonna come back and review Nazi Werewolves from Outer Space. You're
So
welcome
you,
to.
so
I
you didn't
can't
read
wait.
it for nothing. So
Yes.
Having not read it, you're totally welcome to sit in on the review too. But we're gonna do a quick review of that, and then we're gonna come back with Black Mariah. Woo! So we're very excited to have her.
Everything stayed going the whole
So,
time.
guys, how
It
can
didn't-
people check you out real fast, though? Give us some contact info.
DallasBrewScene.com.
Yeah, and through that, the front page has links to our social media. So every day we post a event. So the events that are going on that day, craft beer related, Twitter. So it's really a lot of social media and just kind of ground roots. Get out there and meet people.
Awesome.
.net, whatever,
Yep.
So just basically DallasBrewScene.com.
Dallas-
Get on the internet,
DallasBrewScene.com.
you'll find us.
All right, guys, so we say thanks for coming on the show. We'll
Thanks,
be back
guys.
with Trauma
Cool.
Comics up next.